Hello, my dear friends, and welcome back to my philosophical and musical channel. And today I would like to open a new chapter of my channel. So, philosophical vocabulary or philosophical lexicon, and a little bit later I would like to do something like this in musical context. So, musical vocabulary or something like this. And today, in connection with the previous video about Deleuze and concept, Rhizome, and this concept reminds us of botany and biology. And what does it mean? In philosophy, in philosophical discourse, it arose due to Gilles Deleuze and Felix Guattari in their Capitalism and Schizophrenia. It was written something about 1970 to 1980. It's one of the main books of 20th century of postmodernism, and it opposes to aberrant conception of knowledge, because the dualism and binary opposition, binary concepts have exhausted themselves according to the postmodernism. And you know that in ancient Greece, in ancient Greek language, was used the concept of logos, so-called logos, and it was rooted in Western philosophy, in religion, in psychology and aesthetic, of course, and it is hierarchic conception, structure of knowledge with a specific center, with some structure and some central definition, and with appropriate truth. For Deleuze and Guattari, this concept is impossible, and they claim a rhizome or some kind of assemblage. And so I can cite. So it's something of multiplicity of sense, and it reminds us of system of root. As a model for culture, the rhizome resists the organizational structure of the root tree system, which charts causality along chronological lines and looks for the original source of things and looks towards the pinnacle or conclusion of those things. A rhizome, on the other hand, is characterized by ceaselessly established connections between semiotic chains, organizations of power, and circumstances relative to the arts, sciences, and social struggles. And about assemblage, for example, Deleuze writes that in a book, as in all things, there are lines of articulations or segmentarity, strata and territories, but also lines of flight, movements of deterritorialization and destratification. Comparative rates of flow on these lines produce phenomena of relative slowness and viscosity, or, on the contrary, of acceleration and rupture. So, literature is an assemblage. It has nothing to do with ideology, and it's a very important thesis. There is no ideology and never has been. And a book is an assemblage of this kind, and as such is unattributable. And you know this thesis about death of author in 20th century. It relates to Umberto Eco and Roland Barthes, and for Deleuze it's something like decentralization of these concepts of logos and these rigid structure of sense. We have a lot of associations, and we can see the same thing in music, by the way, in music, and any composer and any work, any opus of this composer are connected with such a diverse context, historical or context of literature, of philosophy, ideas, of course. And it's impossible to create some kind of ideological, rigid structure of understanding, of interpretation. But on the other hand, of course, you must have a very extensive, very extensive and rich network of associative connections, and you have to enrich yourself with these associations in order for your interpretation to be quite impressive. It's our necessity, I think. So thank you for your attention and see you in the next video. Bye.